And
I can't wait for this week as well.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Good. Okay,
I can't wait for this week to see who is going to be the number one contender for AJ Styles.
We will.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the supercard that's happening at Madison Square Garden.
I'm so excited for this. Also, before we talk about that, I also heard that ROH was trying to contact CM Punk for this.
That is the rumor going right now. They're trying to offer him a lot of money, see if you can get him there. Right now, it's rumored as unlikely, but you never know. Money talks. And I think that would be a real.
If CM Punk showed up, CM Punk showed up to ROH at Madison Square Garden the night of Takeover, the night before MSG, and they pushed it everywhere. This guy had a match. I think honestly that night, I think MSG would sell out faster than the Barclays will.
Either way,
because CM Punk is hollowed ground for wrestling fans.
For now.
Unless he comes and dogs it like he did at the UFC. I think this guy has a chance to maybe. This is going to be a big weekend. This is going to be a huge.
100%.
That night is going to be probably the biggest night. That might start another war. We might see another nice little war go on in the wrestling.
I wish it doesn't become a war. I just want them to be coexisting giants and
absolutely
the territories coming back.
They're already starting to plan Takeover right now for Brooklyn for WrestleMania weekend to make it as big as possible because obviously they know they have a huge competition that is going to be going on at MSG. And personally, right now, I'm looking at it. I think MSG is definitely going to win that 100%.
I think
I'm
it
all
is.
With you.
After this weekend with Slammiversary, did you guys watch any of that?
No,
I saw.
I've been watching a lot of independent promotions just because it's easier for me. I go on my phone. It's easy to get. They put it on Twitch a lot, which is pretty cool.
Oh, they did?
I don't know if they did Slammiversary. Someone was streaming it on Facebook, and that's how I found it because people are great. Let me just say this. I've been watching a lot of these independent promotions a lot more.
Yeah.
Impact show was so good this weekend.
Yeah,
and they
Impact
were saying
has been putting on good work. I've been looking all throughout Twitter. I've been seeing that a lot.
Since they got their new head and they've been going in a new direction, these guys have been killing it. They are killing everything. This Slammiversary was insane. It was amazing.
Who has the match of the night?
I really want Tessa Blanchard.
Who has the match of the night?
WWE,
Tessa Blanchard is something else.
Yeah,
Blanchard
she's cool.
Is something else.
She's really good.
All of these matches, every single one. I mean, I can't even tell you. They were saying a great on Busted Open Radio. They were saying that it wasn't an Impact show because Impact shows up to this point have been terrible. This was so good. They're saying it's something totally different. They were saying it was amazing.
Who's your favorite guy in the whole card? Was it Taiji Ishimori, Johnny Impact?
Johnny Impact. This guy is insane. Johnny Mundo, wherever he goes by, he goes by. It depends on the promotion. He is something else. I don't know how this guy was just told he can go.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
How did you let him just slide out the door?
Hopefully, eventually he'll come back to WWE. I'm sure. I don't know what name he'll go by, but I've been a fan of him for a while since Johnny Nitro days, or even Tough Enough days when he was on. He won Tough Enough season 2.
Every match was just insane. You had Austin Aries was wrestling against Moose, right? Pentagon Jr. and Sami Callihan.
The Future.
Yeah. Pentagon Jr. is...
Tommy Dreamer had a match, right?
Tommy Dreamer had a match, which was a pretty good match against Eddie Edwards in a House of Hardcore match. I love me a good hardcore match.
Who won?
Eddie Edwards.
Oh.
Eddie Edwards won that match. Right. It was just really good.
Justin, I know this is what you want to talk about, right?
Yes.
I guess we might as well just dive into it right now since we're kind of just reviewing it. Might as well.
Yeah,
get
right.
it out of the way.
Sorry. Well, I'm just saying.
No.
This was just a really, really good pay-per-view. Everything about this was amazing. It puts, Extreme Rules. That House of Hardcore match made Extreme Rules look like a joke.
Yeah, of course.
This is actually not what I wanted to talk about, but it did need to be mentioned because it is a big thing. But the thing I was talking about was Hulk Hogan coming back.
What?
Again?
Did we cover that last week?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but did we talk about him talking to the locker room?
No. About what, like New Day and Titus O'Neil have stuff going on with them or whatever.
So, but just to wrap up this Impact thing, the Impact show is amazing. Out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.5. And I did not know any of these guys.
No, just based off the matches.
I knew nothing about almost any of these guys besides maybe Austin Aries, Tommy Dreamer. I knew nothing about what I watched.
Yeah.
And every match, I was invested, I was intrigued, and I thought everyone put on a great show. So this was definitely worth your time. If you can go out and watch this, go online and watch it, please do. You know, after, you know, every promotion that's not WWE right now is killing it. I think, you know, if All In is successful in September, which I very much do think it will be,
book flip.
This is WWE's gonna have problems.
Yeah,
they're gonna have problems, especially if ROH can manage to put on an insane show at MSG. You're gonna flip the wrestling world.
And the reason why we're talking about wrestling is because this is the Squared Circle here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. We just finished up talking about Impact. Justin, I know you want to get into Hulk Hogan a little bit, so
we
take the lead on that.
Last week we touched upon that Hulk Hogan was coming back to the WWE, or he was going to be re-inducted into the Hall of Fame since he was. I don't know if that was even made official, but he was apparently banned from the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah. So he came back, and then on Sunday night at Extreme Rules, he was in the locker room, and he, you know, had a meeting with the entire roster. And the thing I don't like about it, and I love Hulk Hogan, but the thing I don't like about it is that it was filmed, and it just seemed that it was just insincere. It came to me, it came across as being something that was just put on film.
You mean like a human resource type of thing?
It was just, you know,
like
PR. It seemed like a PR stunt. It seemed more like, you know, this is a show, where I think it should have been a closed meeting, no cameras, Hogan just talking from the heart. And apparently, you know, some of the roster it's adamant on not, you know, they're accepting his apology, but they're not going to forget it. Guys like the New Day and Titus O'Neil wrote some really good messages online.
Yeah, Titus and New Day's point was like they were okay with like him apologizing, but they're not going to forget what he said, especially Titus, because he even said that his message didn't seem very like clear. Like it seemed like Hogan was like, he was
told to do it.
Don't get recorded. Yeah. That's basically what he got out of the whole speech. And, you know, like, I get why Titus said that, and it's just that Titus also, like, he doesn't hate Hogan. He's okay with him. He just doesn't feel the apology was sincere enough. And you know, like, he believes he should have another chance, but be a bit better.
Listen, brother, all I gotta say about this stuff is that, you know, Titus Worldwide and the New Day and a couple of these guys are all coming out saying these things, right? But, you know, they're all saying it on Twitter, right? Has anyone went on an interview and said anything like that?
No.
Like from the main roster. I know Mark Henry on Busted Open Radio was talking about it. And Mark Henry said it's like 50-50, that 50% are okay with it and 50% aren't okay with it or don't really care enough to, like, really comment.
Yeah.
My thing is, how do we know that this isn't a work? How do we know this isn't them telling these guys, all right, hey, put some stuff online about this, and we're going to make this into a story?
No.
How do you know? How do you know that?
I don't think so. This is
you're telling me that
too serious.
So you're telling me that they're okay. WWE's okay with their own talent going on social media and almost basically burying Hulk Hogan again.
I think they have a right to.
Because saying that. All right, here's what I'm going to say about this really quickly about Hulk Hogan is that no matter what you say about, what he said was terrible and everything, but he said this in the privacy of his home, did he not? Privately recorded illegally where he didn't know. You're telling me if you're in your house with people you trust, you've never said anything suggestive? It's totally bull if you're going to tell me you're a perfect human being and you've never suggested anything about someone else because of the way they look. I'm telling you right now, everyone does it. All of us do. We're all guilty of it.
All right.
So you're going to tell me we're going to bury this guy? No. What I'm saying is we're going to bury Hulk Hogan, the guy who created wrestling, created modern day wrestling, basically, all on his own.
Well, all right. Look, nowadays, we literally talked about this on Nirvana, literally. Probably like an hour ago, Justin, where like when any of this stuff gets out nowadays about any comments like this, it nowadays it's getting blown up and out of proportion. I will admit, I think it gets a little crazy. But
it's one thing because you got Nerdbody. We were talking about the guy James Gunn, right? He said some terrible things on Twitter. He tweeted those knowing, all right, everyone in the world could see this.
That's true. I understand.
Hulk Hogan said it to if it was just me and Gabe in a room, and I said something to Gabe. It's not. I know you're not going to hear it, Justin, because it's just me and Gabe in the room. But if I said, "Hey, Gabe, I hate Justin. He's a terrible person."
Yeah.
Right now, you can hear it. Everyone can hear it. Mm-hmm. It's on the radio. Everyone knows I'm going to say it,
and it's the truth.
Right? How do maybe Hulk Hogan, maybe in that situation he was kidding. Who knows? No one knows the full story. So
I understand
we're burying him.
I personally think this is gonna. I think in a week or two, honestly, everyone's gonna forget about it, and it's gonna be honestly like it didn't happen.
Right.
I really do. I think they're just gonna move on from it. I think they got out what they needed to say. I think everything happened, and I think in a couple weeks you're gonna forget about it because everyone's gonna be looking towards SummerSlam and looking at the feuds, and I don't think anybody is gonna be really relating to it.
Listen, I don't understand how WWE, as controlling as they are, would let these guys put these tweets out there and just let them float.
I think they don't have a choice. They're not going to say you're not allowed to speak your mind. It's a very touchy subject, and if WWE says you can't say this, I just don't see them doing it. So I don't know. But let's talk about some wrestling.
It's too weird, man. Let's talk about the good stuff.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown from last week.
We can do that. I was just going to mention, should we just bring out the Daniel Bryan contract situation? The other stuff we can get to afterwards.
I mean, it's the same stuff as last week. No contract really signed. 2 years extension they were saying.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah. This I really want to bring up
it still hasn't officially signed a contract, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we?
Yeah. Nothing official, but pretty much everything. Yeah. Pretty much everything we already talked about.
Did you have something you wanted to add?
I just wanted to remind people about the G1, and it's amazing.
Yes.
That's all. Because Okada, he started off really bad, and now during his match with Paige, he revived himself, and now he's back at it. And
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Basically, Kazuchika Okada, the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion,
he's going to be at the G1 show at ROH because New Japan is going to be showing up there as well.
But anyways, the G1 that's happening right now. He was doing terribly because after his loss with Kenny, he was at a losing streak, and he looked like a shell. Basically, instead of making it rain bills, he was just handing people balloons. His hair was painted red, and he just looked like a husk of a wrestler. And he lost badly to most people. And then Paige was like, "If you don't bring the former Rainmaker, then don't show up to the ring ever."
Are you talking about Hangman Page?
Yeah.
So everyone knows.
Yeah, I don't know who Page is.
Yeah, Hangman Page. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're talking independent stuff right now. But and he just actually confirmed for All In, Hangman Page. So
I thought he was All In to begin with.
No, yeah, but they confirmed his match.
Oh, yeah.
They confirmed his match. But let's get off of the independent stuff.
Let's go to Raw. Let's skip over those last two stories.
Yeah.
We can bring those up in the last couple of seconds because they're just little stories.
Let's go to the main stuff, the big stuff, the important stuff.
The big
boys.
dog.
The big dog. Oh, actually, while we're talking about Raw, because we're on 85 or 86 days since Brock Lesnar had a wrestling match at San Diego Comic-Con. They had a bunch of wrestlers doing a little panel about stuff, and someone asked them, if you could bring back one former wrestler, who would you bring back? And someone in the crowd geniusly screamed Brock Lesnar, and everyone on the stand just burst into laughter.
It was Zack Ryder, Becky Lynch, AJ Styles
on there. Yep.
Yeah.
They asked AJ about if he thought
Becky was the loudest laugh though. She's the one that got the most joy out of it. So I thought that was pretty funny.
And they asked also AJ what he thought about the Young Bucks going to NXT, and he said that the Young Bucks weren't ready.
What?
Yeah, that's what AJ Styles said.
I think that's a work.
Or he just said it because he wants them to hear it.
I think he was just poking fun.
Or maybe he probably mean we could interpret it many ways. I can say it they're not ready because they got a lot of more stuff to do in New Japan.
I would love to see the Young Bucks in the Undisputed Era, but we'll get into that later. We can talk about that.
All right, so let's talk about Raw.
Yeah. All right,
Monday night last week.
Well, no,
this is actually tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about tonight.
Last week tonight.
Last week was pretty much I feel like there's not enough to recover. To recap.
But I watched Raw.
All right, fine. We'll
talk about what's the biggest thing from Raw that you wanted to get out of it.
There's two big things that are from Raw. Well, actually, three. You had Paul Heyman showed up because obviously it was Brock had to show up on Raw and say he's going to defend his championship, or it's going to be, we're going to take it away from him. So Paul Heyman shows up. They have their promo. It's really good. Paul Heyman always does great work. And then he says that, obviously, Brock Lesnar will fight at SummerSlam.
Just stripped it.
And then you have 6 people come out, which led to 2 triple threats. One was Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns.
Very good match.
Great match. Roman Reigns ended up winning that one. Of course. So I was like, all right, let's see if for the next one it was Seth Rollins, Elias, and Bobby Lashley. And Seth Rollins, I really wanted to win. I thought, no, obviously I wanted Seth Rollins to win because he's Seth Rollins, but I would love to see Roman Reigns versus